Boys and girls, we are here to predict every single one of those games, and I'll put it in a bracket and I'll tell you exactly who will be going through for every single matchup. Before we take it further, don't forget to, of course, like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new to the channel, and of course, comment your own predictions. I want you to predict every single one of these games and why you have them going through if you want to go into specifics. Listen, let's start with the first game. And let's start with wherever they tell us. That is PSV and Arsenal. Where's PSV and Arsenal? My brother. My brother put this matchup in the bag. This game is done. This game is dusted. Arsenal won 7-1. There is no way, and I repeat, no way. How about this? I'm prepared to put this channel under the risk. I'm prepared to risk this channel. If somehow, and I repeat, somehow, if PSV goes through, this channel's done. I'll deactivate this channel. I'll sell this channel. This channel will be up on auction, fam. You can buy it for £1, 20 pence, 1 pence. This channel's gone. But my prediction is very simple. It's very easy. Arsenal will go through. Bro, they won the first leg 7-1. It's G, bro. Let's not even waste any time trying to predict, trying to break it down, how PSV can come back. My brother. Finished. The second game is what you guys are waiting for. Actually, you know what? I'll leave that to the end. You know what I mean? Retention. Retention. How about you stay to the end of the video to watch it? Listen, moving on, we've got Paris Saint-Germain and Liverpool. And this game has been interesting. The first leg proved to be absolutely decisive with a last-minute winner, of course, of Harvey Elliott against the run of play. PSG was literally breaking it down on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, creating so many chances. But the most important thing to, of course, take care of in terms of a preview of this game. First of all, Paris Saint-Germain rested every single one of those players that played. I'll show you. The game against Rennes. This is, of course, the lineup which they played. Every single one of those players are players that's not going to be starting, of course, the game against Paris Saint-Germain, except for, of course, Ruben Neves, Pacho, and potentially Barcelona. On the other hand, you've got Liverpool, who played pretty much almost every single player except for Alexis Robertson. And did Trent play? I don't think he did, because I did watch that game. He did start. So this game is, of course, interesting because Paris Saint-Germain, they're coming in here, fresh legs, and they're ready to make an absolute difference. Anfield is going to be Anfield. Anfield is going to create the atmosphere to support Liverpool and help the players take it through to another level. I do think Liverpool will be much better compared to what they were in the last game. I don't expect Liverpool to get dominated the same way, because the game against Paris Saint-Germain, the first leg, that was the first time I've seen Liverpool get absolutely torn apart. Whether that is technically, physically, mentally, everything. It was so bad. It was so bad to watch from a Liverpool standpoint. But that's what great champions do. Even though things are not going well, even though they're getting dominated, they're getting outplayed, they still manage to win. And that speaks volumes. Do I expect them to get dominated against Paris Saint-Germain? Absolutely not. They're playing at home. The fans will help them. The players will take it a bit more seriously. And I feel like Liverpool will play better. At the same time, I don't know, man. A part of me feeling Paris, bro. I think with Paris, one thing to bear in mind is experience. It's experience, because the likes of Barcelona, the likes of Ruben Neves. Let me just put the preview. That's no predicting. Okay, anyway. The likes of Joao Neves, the likes of Vitinha, the likes of Nuno Mendes. These are players, Patrick, these are players who hasn't really done it. The only ones that have actually done it and have actually got experience in terms of going far to the Champions League is Hakimi and Marquinhos. The rest of them, they don't have these Champions League experience, unlike Liverpool. I do think tomorrow, as much as Liverpool will, as much as Paris Saint-Germain will try to attack, will try to break it down, will try to at least get a redemption and maybe bring it back in terms of the scoreline, I don't think it'll be enough. And I don't think Liverpool will win this game, but I do think this game might finish as a draw, or maybe a last second when Paris Saint-Germain is firing, Liverpool will manage to win in a lot, similar to how they did in the first leg. So I do expect Liverpool to go through in that game. Then we've got Club Brugge, and of course, Aston Villa. The first leg finished 3-1. Do I expect Club Brugge to come back and win this game? Absolutely not. I think they missed their chances. They could have scored in the first half. They did not do it against, of course, the last time they played in the league phase, Club Brugge won. So far, it's 1-1. Aston Villa beat them in a knock in the first leg of the round of 16. Club Brugge beat them, if you guys see this, way earlier in November. But that win doesn't really mean anything. I do think Unai Emery, Aston Villa, the crowd is going to go absolute mental tomorrow at Villa Park. I do think that's going to be enough, and I do think Aston Villa will go through. Then we have Dortmund. I'm going to save that to the end. Then we have Dortmund against Lille. Dortmund-Lille, this is going to be interesting. I mean, this is the only one of the few games which I look at and I say, you know what? There's a lot to ride. Because this is the only game that finishes a draw, unlike all other games. And this is the only game which is very, very open from so many perspectives. Lille, of course, at home, they've done well in the Champions League. They've done very well in the Champions League, beating the likes of Real Madrid, beating the likes, of course, they beat Atleti away from home, to be fair. Dortmund have done well away from home. Of course, they were part of the knockout. They beat Sporting, at Sporting, by the way, 3-0, which is a massive result. This game is interesting. These, of course, Zagrova's been out for so long, and Mbappe Ethan, to be fair, has been playing over the past couple of games. I don't know, man. I think Lille, let me see if they played all the main players against Montpellier. Harrison starting 11, David Cabella. They actually did play most of the starting 11 players. Okay, maybe not him. Meunier, the starter. I don't know. What about Dortmund? Did Dortmund play most of the starting 11 players? They lost against us. At home. Garassi, Brandt, Gittins. Yo, they played the starting 11 players, Ak. Interesting. But the thing is with Dortmund always steps up in the Champions League. It was like last season. The league form wasn't the best, but they reached the Champions League final. Even the Champions League, I don't know. I think Dortmund's going to go. My prediction, I think Dortmund's going to win. Then we have Bayern Munich against Leverkusen. The first leg finished 3-0. It finished 3-0 to Bayern Munich, something that I did not expect. Especially it ended Xabi Alonso's unbeaten streak against Bayern Munich. It went at one point. It was 7 games. He's never lost against Bayern. Company, I think, dropped an absolute tactical masterclass. That was one of the best games I've seen him tactically. Even though Leverkusen last game, they basically went there with 6 defenders, bro. Like, if you go back to the game, yeah, look at this. This is why it's important to bear in mind. It's not impossible. Look at this. This is the lineup which they played. 4 defenders and 2 fullbacks, literally playing as wingers. Jack and Palacios. The only really attacking outlet was Wirtz. Apparently, Wirtz might not be healthy tomorrow. So is Wirtz healthy tomorrow? I've seen reports that it's 50-50. Yeah, Florian Wirtz out, bro. Florian Wirtz out. So tomorrow they've got no Florian Wirtz, no Xhaka. Xhaka might not. A few days. To be fair, he might play. Xhaka, I expect to play. Bro, it's GG with no Wirtz. I do expect Xabi Alonso to change things, and of course expect him to go a bit more attacking. I don't think he's going to play 6 defenders. I don't even think he might play 5 defenders, like 3 defenders and wing backs. I think he might play 4 at the back, but I still don't think that's enough, and I expect Bayern Munich to basically go through. Then we have Feyenoord against Inter. The first game, of course, finished 2-0 to Inter Milan. It could have been 3-0 with a missed penalty of Zielinski. Inter Milan at home. Inter Milan in the Champions League, they've only conceded one goal in the Champions League in literally 9 games. 9 games, 1 goal conceded, and that was a dodgy goal against Leverkusen all the way back in November. Do I expect Feyenoord to score 3 goals? Nah, not even 1 goal. I expect Inter Milan to win this game with a clean sheet. How about that? Inter will go through. Now we have most of it all predicted, except for 2 games. I'm going to start with the game Barcelona against Benfica. Barcelona They won against Benfica away from home with 10 players for pretty much majority of that game, especially when Kubasi got sent off like in the 22nd, 23rd minute. Benfica, that was their golden chance. That was the moment which they could have taken it and run with it. They did not take advantage. They allowed Barcelona to win that game in the second half with a Rafinha screamer from outside the box from defensive mistake from Antonio Silva. Tomorrow's game is massive because of the fact there's no Alvaro Cáceres, who has done a very, very good job on Lamine Yamal in the first leg. On top of that, no Angel Di Maria, but Benfica do get a player back, and that is a person who they missed very, very much. And that is, of course, Florentino, the defensive midfielder, who, of course, missed the first leg, who, for me, is their best player this season. And what he's done, especially in that midfield, proper ball-winning midfielder. Do I expect Benfica to basically score? They might score, but do I expect Benfica to win? Absolutely not. I do think Barcelona, they won the first legs, and with what happened against Osasuna, the game that got postponed, I'm sure the players and the team, they're going to win this game and, of course, dedicate it to the person who passed away within the Barcelona family. So I do think Barcelona will take it seriously and will make sure they win this game just in dedication for, of course, the person who passed away, a very important person who passed away within, of course, the team itself. So I don't expect Barcelona to lose this game, but most importantly, I don't expect Barcelona to go through. So for that game, Barcelona will go through, and I think they'll win comfortably, like 2 or 3-0 as well. And that leads us to the main event. That leads us to the main event, boys and girls. The game which I think matters more than anything else. The game that will mean a lot. It will mean a lot. Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. The first leg, of course, ended 2-1 to Real Madrid. It could have been 2-2. It could have been 3-2 to Atleti. Or it could have been 3-1 to Real Madrid, with the chance which could potentially haunt Real Madrid, could potentially haunt Kylian Mbappe, the chance which we had in the 92nd minute to make it 3-1, which if he could have passed it properly to Vinicius Jr., he did not make the proper pass and, of course, got intercepted, and the game finished 2-1. Tomorrow's game is going to be interesting because that's not going to be no Thibaut Courtois. Thibaut Courtois potentially might be out for the game. Militao, we all know about. Dani Carvajal, we all know about. Dani Ceballos, we all know about. And of course, Rudiger, there is also doubts as well. I do expect Rudiger to be healthy. I don't expect Rudiger to be out for that game. So I expect Rudiger to come back and potentially partner Raul at the back line. Fede is going to be back as well because, of course, Real Madrid played today. They played yesterday, apologies, and they beat Rayo, and of course, Lucas Vazquez started. Garcia started. I don't expect Garcia to start. Alaba, like I said, it's not going to be starting. Jude is, of course, going to be starting. Tchouaméni will be starting. Luka Modric. Do I expect Carlo Ancelotti to play this 4? Do I expect him to play this 4? No. I think he might play. A part of me feel like he might play. Yeah, a part of me feel like he might play. Even though Camavinga has done nothing. Camavinga has been very disappointing. Camavinga has been very, very below par over the past month and a half. But I do expect him, especially going away from home, you are going to be expecting Atleti and the crowds to be on it. I think Atleti, they know they have to win this game. So they can't start on the defensive end. They can't do what they did when they took out Antoine Griezmann and defended with 10 players when they were 2-1 down. They are going to come tomorrow and attack from the first second of the game. Do I expect the atmosphere and the momentum and the intensity of that game to play an aging Luka Modric back-to-back after he started a whole game and played 90 minutes 3 days ago? I don't. I do expect Camavinga to start tomorrow, and it's going to be an important game for Camavinga. This is my prediction. So I expect Tchouaméni and Cama to start next to each other in the pivot, and of course Jude and Rodrigo. I don't expect these 3 to be benched. One of them to be benched. I do think the trio will start because I think Carlo knows if he sacrifices one of those and plays maybe Brahim Diaz for a bit more defensive security, I think that will give the cutting edge to Atleti. Listen, the most important thing to bear in mind is, let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. We have never lost against Atleti in the Champions League. And that goes all the way back to 2014 in the La Decima final. Of course, 2015, the Chicharito goal, the Champions League 16, the final, Ronaldo masterclass in that leg, Karim Benzema. Actually, we did lose. We did lose against Atleti, but I meant as in a 2 legs. I meant as in going through. And of course, this game as well, we beat them. At the same time, Atleti understands this is probably the best chance of beating Real Madrid, just because of the fact Real Madrid hasn't really been the Real Madrid that we all know in terms of this season, and we are very beatable. Like it's not hard to beat Real Madrid. I think if Atleti performs at an elite level, and I think if Madrid performs at the habits that we all know, I expect Atleti to win. I don't think we will go back to the habits. I don't think we'll be committing mistakes. I think, listen, this season, one thing we've done, especially in 2025, outside of the game against Barcelona in the Super Cup, I think ever since the past month and a half, I think whenever there's a big game, which has been 2 big games really, that's the big game, Atleti in the league, Man City, and Atleti in the first leg. Atleti in the league, the first 45 minutes was bad. The last 30 minutes, we woke up and we actually played to the level that we know how to play. City, I know City is so bad. That was our best performance. Both home, especially the home game, away from home, it was okay. And then Atleti in the first leg, there was moments of that game we were good. The rest of the moment we were bad. Do I expect Real Madrid to commit the same habits now against Atleti? I think Madrid understands this is a game which is a must-win game. And when the players understand it's a must-win game, they step up. They are going to step up. They are going to deliver. I don't expect the players to be complacent. I don't expect the players to commit mistakes, and they understand the magnitude of this game. At the same time, I do understand Atleti will start attacking. I think Atleti will attack from the first minute. A part of me feel like we will score an early goal. We will score an early goal. We will score a goal within the first 15, 20, 25 minutes. And I think that's key to kill the momentum of the crowd. I think the crowd will be so on it tomorrow. I think the crowd will be extremely hostile. Like every time Vinny gets the ball, them man are going to provoke the hell out of him. We might see abuse, fam. We might see as crazy abuse as possible to Vinny, to every single player. That's why tomorrow's game, we can't have the likes of Jude, the likes of Vinny, the likes of Mbappe, the likes of Rodrigo get provoked from the fans, especially Vinny Jr. Wednesday, lock in. Zone in from the first second. Get an early goal, kill the crowd, kill the whole momentum of the crowd. Once we kill the crowd, the place will be killed. Because Atleti, they play off the crowd. Simeone, he plays off the crowd. If the crowd is on it, Atleti players is on it. If the crowd is dead, the players are dead. Kill the crowd within the first 15, 20, 25 minutes, and that's it. That's it. The game is done. They have to score 2 goals. I don't expect them to score 2 goals against us. For that reason, Real Madrid will go through. Real Madrid will go through. And if this happens, I will be talking about on a completely different video. But my prediction for the quarterfinals, as of today, is Arsenal Madrid, Liverpool Aston Villa, Barca Dortmund, and Bayern and Inter. That is my prediction for the next 2 days. Put down in the comments what your predictions are. Put down in the comments what your expectations are. And hey, listen, let's see what happens. I'll be doing a watch along for 3 of those games. I'm going to be doing a watch along for of course, go back. I'm going to be doing a watch along for Barcelona and Benfica, for Liverpool, Paris Saint-Germain, and of course for Real Madrid and Atleti. So catch me tomorrow for 2 games and catch me on Wednesday for another game. Chat, we'll see you soon. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment your own prediction, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.